everyone, welcome to your Build a Combo class. For equipment today, you're going to need a resistance band loop. You really only need one, but if you have a set with multiple weights on hand, I always like to have options, so I'm going to switch between my medium and my light today. If you're new to Build a Combo classes, this is how the structure works. We have 3 different combos today. In each one, you're going to build a sequence of exercises over a short period of time. Today, that period of time is going to be 2 minutes. So the first 20 seconds will just be movement A, and then the next 40 seconds will be movement A plus movement B. The next 40 seconds will be movement A plus movement B plus movement C, and then the final 20 seconds will just be movement C. We're not doing those motions, that was just to demonstrate. When you complete the 2-minute sequence, you rest for 30 seconds before repeating. If we have unilateral work, you will complete 4 sets of the sequence, twice on the right, twice on the left, and if there's bilateral work, then you will just complete 3 sets of the sequence. In between each of our 3 combos, you get a full minute to recover, and during that time, I'll show you a preview of the upcoming movements. Now, no jumping today. This is a pretty low impact workout, so your best way to modify most of these exercises, just use a lighter resistance band, or in some cases, ditch the resistance band and just do them body weight. We will start class with a quick guided warm-up, and we will finish class with a quick guided cool down. For our warm-up today, I want you to take your band. If you have multiple options, take the lighter of your bands, and we're gonna put it around the arches of our feet. And it's just gonna stay there. We won't use it quite yet, but that will come into play. Now, standing up tall, I want you to take your right arm, reach it up. We're going to side bend over to the left, and then staying within the side bend, we're just going to rotate. On an exhale, chest down towards the floor, and on an inhale, up towards the ceiling. So we're opening up to the sides of our body, rotating through that mid-spine, and just linking movement to breath. Inhale up. This time, just come through your side bend. Let's take it up tall and switch sides. So now that left arm reaches up, and we're going to side bend over to the right on an exhale. Rotate down. Inhale up. As you exhale, ribs move in and down. As you inhale, they expand. Last time. Come up tall, and now I want your palms to face forward overhead, and let's add in a hip hinge. So your hips are going to slide back. As they do, your arms sweep back, stay open through the chest, and as you come up tall, arms up. Hinge and up. Squeeze the glutes at the top, reach the tailbone back as you hinge. Coming up, we're going to hold the hinge position. We're going to trace arm circles, mobilizing through the shoulder joint and establishing a connection to our mid-back. In 3, 2, hinge back, hold that hinge, and I want you to just trace circles with those arms. So they come in front of you, up, out, and around. Now stay connected through the abdominal wall, so we don't want to puff open through the rib cage as we do this. So that might mean you make your circles a little smaller. Switch direction. Hands are going to come to heart center. We're going to do a hip hinge to a squat in 3, 2, and 1. So from this hinge position, bend your knees, drop into your squat, and stand. We hinge, we drop, we stand. Now, just because we have that band around our arches, I want you to make sure that you're not collapsing into your arches. So press your big toe down here. We're going to hold the squat up next. Next time you come into that squat, I want you to hold, and it does not need to be your lowest possible squat ever. Now, really grounding down through the feet, we're going to take little steps side to side. So kind of waking up through the outer hips here. Little step, really plant down through the whole foot, so I don't want your toes lifted as you do this. Try to keep tension on the band. So even as the feet step closer together, they're not so close together that the band goes slack. And when you step the foot out, really think of pushing from the outer hip as well. Just one more time to one end of the mat and back. We're going to stand up, just a little more band work for the hips. Stand up tall. Now I want you to plant down through your right foot. We'll start on the left side, so you'll mirror me. I want you to lift the ball of your foot off so you're just on the heel, unlock through the knees. And all we're going to do is push against that band and find external rotation through that left side. Plant the foot down. Lift it up, come center. So we lift through the foot, externally rotate, and plant down. So yes, it's the foot that is moving in and out, but that turnout comes from the hip joint. So really think about initiating the movement from your hips, squeezing into the glutes. A little bit of ankle mobility here as well. One more time this side. Plant it down, and now just shift your weight into that left foot. Same thing, right side. Ball of the foot lifts up so you're on your heel. Pivot on the heel to find that external rotation. Plant it down. We lift. Now when you come back forward, don't let the band just fling your foot in. I want you to control the movement. Again, try to connect to the outer hips and the glutes here. Create the turnout from that joint. 2 more. Knee tracking in line with middle toes. Last time. And shake off that band. We're going to come into a little dynamic movement. First exercise is just going to be a squat with a side bend. So you can think of this as our light cardio section of the warm-up to build some heat in the body. There's no jumping in class today though, so we're going to keep it all low impact. We have 2 movements and we'll just switch between them 3 times. You'll notice I'm adding a little side step and a tap with one foot as I come up and over. We're going to find a wide sumo stance. It's going to be a pivot with a twist of the torso. In 3, in 2, and 1. So find a wide stance externally rotated from the hips, and you're going to twist and pivot, punching across your body, side to side. Getting a little rotation here. You're not in a super deep sumo squat by any means. We just have that wide out turn position. Back to our squat with side bend in 4, 3, 2, 1. Toes point forward. Shallow squat, side bend with that little tap of the foot. Let's take our squat a little deeper this time. We'll find that wide stance with that pivot and punch in 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet are wide, externally rotate from the hips. So you'll notice one heel lifts as I pivot off the back foot. One more time through these 2 movements. In 3, 2, 1. Squat to side bend, toes point forward. Let's make this our deepest squat yet. Final time. Sink low. Hips slide back. Wide sumo squat position. Pivot and punch in 3, 2, 1. Externally rotated from the hips. Side to side. We're going to finish up this warm-up with world's greatest stretch. One final mobility thing. We're going to pivot to the right, hands to the mat. You're in a runner's lunge. In 3, 2, 1. Pivot to the right, bend into that right knee. Hands come to the mat on the inside of your right leg. Left leg is long. Now take your right arm, twist open. It reaches up to the ceiling. Bring the right hand back to the mat. Step your right foot back. Same thing, left side, left foot. Twist it open. Hand down, back to plank. Keep alternating. One more time each side, to the right and to the left. Now hold your plank, but walk your knees in so you're in a bear plank position. Spine is long and neutral. Staying connected to your neutral position so that we don't sink into the low back. I want you to retract and protract the shoulder blades. So serratus push up here. Shoulder blades slide in towards each other and then slide wide towards your armpits, maintaining that neutral spine shape. 4 more of these. 3 more. 2, 1. Hips up, walk your hands in towards your feet, roll it up to stand, and I'm going to show you our first combo. First combo, we're going to be down on the mat, focused on core. Band is going to be around your thighs. I am using my medium band. First exercise is a side V-up. You're not directly on the side of your hip, you're on the side of your butt cheek for that one. From there, you're going to roll onto the side of your hip, forearm plants down, and we lift our hips up into a side plank position. Third and final movement in that side plank position, you're going to lift that top leg up, pushing against the resistance band, lower it down, and reverse the movement back to start. Last 20 seconds, you're holding that side plank, top leg is lifting and lowering. All right, we're gonna go through this 4 times, alternating side to side. Let's go. So I want you to mirror me. You're gonna be on the side of your left butt cheek, and we'll start with that side V-up. And a note, guys, if your band is too loose, it's gonna slip down because we're not gonna be pushing against it until the second movement. So make sure your band is fairly tight. Legs extended out. We're light through this bottom arm. You're even gonna lift the elbow up as we crunch. V-ups to start, first 20 seconds. So notice, just my hand stays on the floor, my elbow lifts. Coming up though, we'll roll to the side of our left hip bone, elbow will be planted down, we'll lift up into that side plank. All right, now next time you're gonna roll to the side of your hip bone, feet plant down, lift up into your side plank. Lower the hips down, but don't collapse into that bottom shoulder. Roll to the side of your butt cheek. 1 V-up. When you lift the hips up into the plank, make sure they're stacked. So you need to pull this top right hip all the way forward so it's stacked on top of the left. Final piece of this will be a top leg lift in that side plank. Okay, add it in. So you lift up to a side plank, holding the side plank. Top leg lifts up and lowers. Reverse it back to start. 1 V-up. Don't rush through it. The final 20 seconds, you'll just hold that side plank. Top leg will lift and lower. Hold your side plank, top leg lifts and lowers. If this is too much, you have options. You can drop to your bottom knee, or you can just hold the side plank without the lift of the top leg. Keep pulling that right hip forward so it's stacked. Woo, and rest. 30 seconds here. We're gonna flip around, we're gonna do that same thing, other side. So because of the V-up and then the side plank, we're really working top and bottom side obliques every round, but we'll switch up just so that we don't totally fatigue the bottom shoulder. Okay, so you're gonna roll to the side of your right butt cheek now, mirroring me. Legs will extend out long. We'll start with that side V-up. Let's go. Whoop. So, since I basically just did it, a great way to modify these is to bend the knees in and out instead of keeping them straight. Add in that roll to the side plank. So roll to the outside of that right hip, one long line with your body, exhale, hips lift up. Lower the hips down, roll to the side. So make sure that when you roll into this position, ankles and elbow are lined up, okay? We add in that top leg lift. 1 V-up, roll with control into your side plank position, and then at the top, that top leg lifts and lowers. Hips come down, roll to the side. Last 20 seconds, we'll hold in that side plank. let's do it. Come into your side plank position. Hips are lifted and stacked. Top leg lifts and lowers. Keep lifting up to the waist. Keep reaching this top leg long. So I don't care how high it lifts up. I care that you're staying stable through the pelvis and lifted through the hips. And done. Rest. All right, halfway there. 30 seconds to recover. We'll switch back to the other side. Okay, we're going to come to our left side now, mirroring me. We'll start with the side V up. Reach those legs long. And on an exhale, you crunch up. Bottom elbow lifts off the floor as you do. Up next, we'll add in that roll to a side plank. And remember, you want to bring yourself into side plank alignment. So think ankles and left elbow in one long line. Add it in. So you're going to roll to the left side, kick the legs back enough so that you're in one long line. Hips lift straight up. They're stacked. Lower them back down. Roll to your side. One V up. Add in that top leg lift. So next time you come to your side plank, top leg lifts up and lowers. Roll it back. I'm going to take my top arm and extend it long because I noticed I was kind of rolling closed with my shoulder instead of staying open through the chest. So you can opt to take this position as well with your top arm or keep it where it was. Doesn't matter. Hold your side plank, top leg lifts and lowers. Final 20 seconds. Keep lifting up through the hips. Don't sink into this bottom shoulder, so really push the floor away. Lower those hips. 30 seconds to recover. We go through that just one more time on the other side. Okay, you'll come to the outside of your right butt cheek. Final 2 minutes in this first combo. You got it. We'll be standing for the rest of it. Kind of. V up. To modify, bend the knees or just keep your elbow down so that you have support. Roll into that side plank without sinking into the shoulder. Hips lift up and lower. So when you transition from hips down to hips up, I want you to think about staying really active through this area in your side body, okay? Active through it. Don't collapse into the waist. Add in the top leg lift. Oops, almost forgot my leg lift. You got it. We're approaching those final 20 seconds. Find your side plank, hold it. Final 20 seconds. Top leg lifts and lowers. Hips are stacked and lifted. Open through the chest. Strong through your bottom shoulder. And done. Take a counter stretch. You have 60 seconds to recover. I'm going to show you our second combo. I'm going to stick with my medium resistance band. For this one, it's going to be under 1 foot, gripping it with your hand. First exercise, you're in a low, wide sumo squat position. It is a bicep curl. From there, staying pretty low, you're going to step into a hinged position and you're going to give me a row. Third part, from this hinged position, you extend the back leg into a deadlift. Now from there, to transition to the start, you're going to roll open through the pelvis. So I'll show you the transition. From here, you start to roll open through the pelvis, almost like a half moon if you've done yoga. And then you bend into the knees and you just land right back in that sumo squat position. The final 20 seconds, you're just going to be in the deadlift and that back leg extends out and then taps down to the mat. 4 times through, alternating sides. Let's go. So I want you to mirror me. Band is going to go under the arch of your left foot. You're going to grab it in your left hand. And we're going to come into a low, wide sumo squat position. The inside of this left arm can be pressed against the inside of that left thigh. I'm going to bring my right hand to my abdomen, but you could also rest it on your other thigh as well. We have a big hinge forward with the torso here, but we're not rounding through the shoulders. We'll start with just 20 seconds of that bicep curl. Up next will be 1 curl, and then we're going to take this right foot, we're going to step it parallel to the left foot in our hinged position. So I'm just going to change my angle a little bit. All right, so 1 curl, and then step into your hinged position, 1 row with that left side, step it back, low sumo squat. 1 curl, staying pretty low through the legs. So you'll notice when I'm in that hinged position, my knees are still bent. When you do that row, your palm is going to face in towards midline. Think of initiating the row with the shoulder blade retracting in. So shoulder blade, then elbow. All right, we add in that deadlift hinge. So you give me 1 row and then take this right leg, extend it behind you. Now we're going to roll open through the pelvis, land back in that sumo squat position. From the top, 1 curl, 1 row. Deadlift, balance, don't lock out the left knee. Roll open through the pelvis, land in your low squat. So kind of a fun transition there. The final 20 seconds, it's just going to be that deadlift extension with the back leg. So come into that deadlift position, and then from here, you're going to bend that back right knee. Tap the toes to the mat, don't transfer weight, and then extend that leg long. Try to keep your hips level to the floor. So you might need to pull this right hip down a little bit. Unlock through the left knee, long through the torso. And rest, 30 seconds. Okay, same thing, coming up, other side. So the band is going to go under the arch of your right foot now, and you'll grab it in your right hand. Come into that sumo squat position. Elbow on the inside of that thigh. Bicep curl. If you need support for your low back, you can rest your other non-working side on your thigh as well. We're going to add in that step. So step into our hinge position, 1 row with that right elbow, hinge it back open into our squat. Bicep curl, row. So all this work in a hinge position, it is a challenge for our posterior side, so our back. Make sure you stay connected to your abdominals so that you're not sinking into the low back. We want to strengthen that area, not strain. We'll add in that deadlift hinge up next. or that deadlift kick, I guess that we could call it. Add it in. So after your row, take that left leg, kick it back long, hinging forward with the torso. Now roll open through the pelvis, land back in that sumo squat position. Curl, row, balance, pivot open. Whoop. Last 20 seconds will just be that deadlift kick. Deadlift kick. So back leg extends long. Bend the knee and just lightly tap the toes to the mat. Don't transfer weight. So it's really a stability exercise for this right side. And rest. Whew. All right, halfway there. One more time each side. So you'll mirror me. The band will go under the arch of your left foot. I hope my dog is in the frame so you guys can see her right now. Working hard. Bicep curls to start. Left hand has the band. So in this position, you can push the arm against the inside of the thigh, but I don't want you to rest it on top of it, okay? That's important. Staying connected to our core, very important here. Our back is working here throughout most of the sequence. So we want to support it. Okay, add in that step to your hinge, add in one row. And I know it looks like I have a stomach ache or something holding my belly the whole time, but it's just the best position for this hand. I guess I could go behind my back or on my hip, whatever works for you. Make sure you're staying open through the chest. We'll add in that deadlift kick up next. All right, add in that deadlift kick after your next row. Roll open through the hips, land back in that sumo squat. One curl. One row, reach the tailbone long. One deadlift kick. Rotate open, land in that sumo. We finish with just that deadlift kick. Just the deadlift kick. Toes tap and then extend out. And rest 30 seconds. Okay, just one more time through. And again, I know I've said it a million times, but don't get frustrated if you're feeling this in your back. This combo is working, really challenging the back and that posterior side. So the band will go under your right foot. You'll grab it in your right hand. Wide stance, out turn through the hips. Right hand grabs the band. Bicep curl to start. Let me change my position. There we go. Keep pressing the knees so that they track in line with the middle toes. Don't let them collapse inside your big toe. Add in that step to that hinge. So your torso is almost parallel to the floor. Do not lock out through the knees. One row on that right side. Back to your sumo. One curl. One row. You are very low in that sumo squat position. Think about maintaining neutral through the spine. So keep reaching your tailbone back, open through the chest. Race to the abdominals, so important. add in that deadlift kick. So after your next row, left leg kicks long, balance on the right, roll open through the pelvis, land in that sumo squat. You got it. One curl, one row, one kick. Okay, and with just that deadlift kick, left leg extends long, bend the knee toes, just tap the mat, don't transfer weight. You got it, almost done with this combo. And done, awesome job. All right, you have a minute to recover. I'm gonna show you our final combo. Final combo, I'm going to be dropping down to my light band. It is going to be around your forearms. First up, you're in a plank position and it's just a little plank walk. Right hand to the right, center. Left hand to the left, center. It's small. Second move from there, you're going to jump your feet into a low squat position. Arms lift forward and just give me one pull apart at chest height. If you don't want to jump the feet forward and back, then you would just step into your low squat. Final move from that low squat position, it is going to be a curtsy lunge with a high row. So it's a little rotation. So you move from this position to this position. And then you just do the same thing over to the other side. Final 20 seconds will just be that side to side curtsy with that high row. So the band is around your forearms, a couple inches above your wrists. We're going to come to that plank position to start. Spread out through the hands. They're under your shoulders. At any point, if you need to modify, you can do it in a bear plank instead of having your legs long. We're going to start with that little step side to side. Right hand to the right, an inch or two, then step it back under your shoulders. Same thing, other side. If you need to separate your feet a little wider than a normal plank, that's a great way to help you stay stable. We're going to add in that jump to our low squat or a step to a low squat. Jump up to your low squat, lift those arms, palms face in, chest height. Pull apart on the band, lower your hands to the mat, back to plank. One step to the right, one step to the left, jump up, low squat. This one is going to be a burner for the shoulders. Up next, we will add in that curtsy lunge with our high row, one to each side. Add in that curtsy next time you're on your feet. So from your low squat, you pull apart on the band, curtsy to one side, palms face the floor, draw the elbows back, come through center squat, other side. Back to your plank. So we have a long combo here. Don't rush it, but maybe you do add in a touch of speed. All right, we finished with just that curtsy. Curtsy, squat, palms face the floor, face each other. I'm showing a front view if that's helpful. Oh, and rest 30 seconds. I'm actually going to drop down to my extra light band here. Woo. So we're going to go through that just twice more. Shake out those arms. All right, band around your forearms. We find our plank position. Again, you can do a bear plank if you prefer to modify. Let's go. Little step, side, center. And when I say center, I just mean under your shoulders. Stay really active through the legs. They're helping support you in this plank. We'll add in that jump to a squat up next. So you jump both feet out, Lift the torso, lift those arms. Pull apart, palms face in towards each other. Hands down to the mat, you're back in your plank. When you do that pull apart of the band, think about that retraction of your shoulder blades initiating it. Okay, add in your curtsy. So you do the pull apart in the squat, and then curtsy lunge, slide the elbows back, palms face the floor. Back through center squat, curtsy, other side, reverse it, back to plank. You're only going to get through this full combo 2 or 3 times in the 40 seconds, and that is fine. Maybe more if you're speedy, but don't worry about doing much more than that. Just the curtsy side to side with that pull. I'll show you from the front. Woo, birds. Pull apart on that band. Elbows slide back. Rest. 30 seconds. Okay, we have to do that one more time, and then we cool down. All right, this last time through, if the band gets to be too much at any point, just do it body weight, okay? Find your plank. Little steps side to start. Let's go. So try not to completely lock out through the elbows. It's just this little invisible softness to them because I don't want you to hyperextend. Add in your jump to your squat. Lift the chest, reach your tailbone long, but don't sink into your low back. One pull apart, hands to the mat, plank. The first minute I'm good with. It's that curtsy lunge with that high row that gets me. Add in that curtsy, okay? One to either side. Stepping through squat. Stay open through the chest, long through the spine. And staying long through the spine means long through the back of your neck too, okay? Sometimes it's tempting when you do that high row to jut the head forward, but think about keeping length to the back of your neck. We're in our last 40 seconds of class. You can do it. All right, last 20 seconds. Just the side to side curtsy. Again, showing that front view if it's helpful. You can do it so close to the end. Oh, and done. Oh my gosh. Ditch that band, shake out those arms. Awesome work. I'm gonna bring you through a quick cool down now. Whew, so glad I had that extra light band on hand. So to start, let's just find some release. I want your stance to be really wide with the legs. Just forward fold and just sway side to side, letting your fingertips kind of drag across your mat. One more each side. And then I want you to just settle in the middle. And I want you to release through the neck, so really relax it. Nod your head yes and no. And then just let it hang. From here, I want you to plant your left hand on the mat, and we're going to twist open. Right arm up to the ceiling. And then bend the elbow, and you can bring that hand behind your back, or you can keep it straight if you prefer. And then coming back through center, other side, plant your right hand down, twist open to the left. You can leave the arm straight, or bend the elbow, bring it behind your back. Both hands to the mat. I want you to walk your hands over to your right, bending into your right knee and pivoting. Left knee comes down to the mat. Come up into your kneeling lunge position. If you want extra padding for your knee, you can always fold your mat over. Square your hips, gentle squeeze of the glutes, and then I want you to press the pelvis forward for a stretch for the hip flexors. And then when you're ready, you're going to shift the hips back, straightening out through that front right leg. Fold forward, chest towards the knee in your half split position for a stretch for the back of the legs. And let's take it over to the other side. Right knee down, left foot forward. Square the hips, squeeze the glutes, press the pelvis forward, hip flexor stretch. And shifting the hips back, straightening out through that front leg. Fold at the hips. Hamstring stretch. And from here, we're going to come into a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And I want you to just flip your palms one at a time so that the fingers point back towards your knees. Now I want you to unlock through the elbows, and then we're just going to shift our hips back so we get a nice stretch through the front of our forearms. And you probably don't have to shift back very far at all to feel this. I love this. It also is such a nice stretch for the front of the fingers. If you think about it, our hands spend so much time in kind of a fist position because we're gripping things all the time, so it's really nice to force them open. Coming forward so the hips are stacked over your knees. Flip the palms forward, one at a time. And then I want you to walk the hands forward, send the hips back, coming into a child's pose. And we're just going to stay here for a couple deep breaths to finish up class. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale it out slowly. And then I slowly want you to come up to a kneeling position. And that is your class. If you enjoyed this workout, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new workouts for free on YouTube every Monday, sometimes more frequently. And then I also share additional classes on Patreon. Also available to Patreon members is a monthly workout calendar if you want a little guidance structuring your week. I'm so appreciative of your support, whether it's here on YouTube or on Patreon or both. And I'll see you guys next time.